Hello everyone, welcome to this Pet channel. Today we are unpacking chapter 1 of the Tao Te Ching. Although it is short, every line is deeply profound. Don't worry, we'll break it down in plain, simple English so that by the end you will think, now I get it, really? Let's begin. The full text of chapter 1, Tao Te Ching. The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. The nameless is the beginning of heaven and earth. The name is the mother of all things. Therefore, always be without desire in order to see its subtlety. Always have desire in order to see its manifestation. These two emerge together but differ in name. Their unity is called deep and profound. The gateway is all subtleties. 9x9 explanation. The Tao that can be spoken is not the eternal Tao. If you can put the Tao into words, if you can fully describe it, then it isn't the true, unchanging Tao. In other words, the real Tao is indefinitely deep and cannot be captured by any single phrase or definition. Any description you give only reflects what you see and understand in that moment, not the full, ever-shifting, eternal reality. Think of it this way. If someone asks, what is the meaning of life? And you spend paragraphs explaining, you are only giving one interpretation. The true meaning of life goes far beyond any explanation you can write down. But trying to define it, you inevitably leave out countless aspects. B. The name that can be named is not the eternal name. Likewise, if you can give something a name, if you label it, then the label is not the ultimate and changing name. For example, writing down sky is an attempt to define sky, but the sky isn't always blue. Sometimes it's full of clouds, sometimes glowing with sunsets, sometimes crossed by a rainbow. By calling it skies, you have only gained a convenient label, not the full essence. The truest name is beyond any words too vast to be fully spoken. The nameless is the beginning of heaven and earth. The name is the mother of all things. Here, nameless refers to the state before anything is defined or categorized. An undivided, formless origin. Imagine primal chaos before anything took shape or names. The nameless state is the very root from which everything rises. Once something acquires a name, once we define it with words, labels, or concepts, it becomes the mother of all things. By calling a particular tree an oak, for instance, we give it a specific identity. The act of naming brings about all the very forms we see, rivers, mountains, plants, animals. Everything owes its concrete existence to bring identified, labeled, and categorized. So, the nameless is the source and origin. Everything begins there. The name is how things take shapes and become distinct, the mother of all the forms in the world. D. Therefore, always be without desire in order to see its subtlety. Always have desire in order to see its manifestation. This nice contrast to most of possession. Being without desire means letting go of expectation, attachments, and preconceived ideas. In that state, you can perceive Tao's subtle hidden workings, its core essence. Imagine walking in nature without any goal, no phone, no plan to take a photo, no urge to pick a flower. Your mind is open and relaxed, so you notice the faint rustle of leaves, the scent of damp earth, even the temperature of the breeze. These are the Tao's subtleties, the deep intrinsic details that only appears when you have no particular agenda. Being with desire means having a purpose, a goal, or craving, wanting to obtain or achieve something. In this state, you only see the manifestation, the surface appearance that satisfy your desire. For example, if you enter the forest determined to find the most beautiful flower to photograph, You will notice bright blossoms, tiny mushrooms, hidden insects, the texture of moss. Anything that doesn't serve your goals will escape your attention. You will see only what you want to see. In short, without desire, you glimpse the Tao's subtle essence. With desire, you perceive only the external, visible results. Yet, these two emerge together but differ in names. Their unity is called deep and profound. The gateway is to all subtleties. Although desires and non-desire seem opposite, they actually come from the same source, the Tao itself. They are simply two ways of experiencing the world. Think of you are left eyes and right eyes looking at the same things from slightly different angles. Neither view is wrong. Both help create a fuller picture. Similarly, observing the world with desire or without desire both originate from the Tao. Their apparent differences are just differences of perspectives, not opposition. When you see that unity behind duality, that you tap into something deep and profound, the gateway to all the Tao's mysteries. 3. One sentence summary of Chapter 1. The Tao cannot be fully expressed in words, and naming things will never capture their true essence. Yet, by observing without desire, you glimpse the Tao's subtle cores. By observing with desire shows only its outward manifestation. Both paths flow from the same source, forming a profound gateway to the infinite subtleties of existence. A simple example, the blank sheet of paper. Imagine a completely blank piece of white paper. In its nameless state, it's just a pure, empty surface. Nothing has been written or drawn. It represents infinite potential. As soon as you put pen to paper, whether you scribble in a diary, sketch a drawing, or fold it into origami, you give it a name. Then act of definition turns it into something specific, a poem, a picture, or a paper crane. This mirrors how things go from nameless to name. Now, consider how you approach that blank paper. If you have low desire, low plan, low expectations, you might simply feel the smooth texture, notice faint creases, even detect the faintest fingerprint smudges. You see subtle details you otherwise miss. This is observing its subtlety because your mind is open and not chasing any outcomes. If you have desire purpose like I feel to finish my homework or I want to fold the paper at night, you only focus on whether the paper is clean enough, the right size or thick enough for your projects. You see only what matters for the specific goals, just as the outward quality that satisfies your need, that's observing its manifestation. Final thought and invitation. Okay, now you should have a clear sense of Chapter 1. The Tao is beyond words and names. Nameless Qi is the origin of all things. Name is how things become real. Observing without desire lets you see essence. Observing with desire shows only surface. Both ways come from the same Tao, and grasping that unity opens the door to all subtleties. If you enjoyed this explanation, please like and subscribe and share with friends. Feel free to leave your thoughts or questions in the comments. Next time we will explore Chapter 2 and dive in where everyone sees beauty as beauty, ugliness arises. Another layer of Taoist insights. Thank you for watching with Pat. See you in the next video.